Hey guys, what's up? This is Nasudu and you're watching DCS, and today we're gonna do kind of a basic lesson for the AH-64, the Apache. And I was thinking that some of you guys are maybe completely new to helicopters, and it might be a good idea to do some really basic stuff on how to fly helicopters and the Apache in general. So let's start with your inputs. When you first fly this thing, you might need to assign some axes. The axes that we need here are, wait a second. The cyclic pitch, which is your stick input, and the collective, which will control your height, and of course the rudder pedals. Wheel brakes, yeah, you can assign, it's not really necessary for now. Something I do is I go into axis tune and I lower the saturation of the y-axis to, at the moment I have 80. I will gradually go up as I get used to the bird, but if you have trouble with too sensitive inputs and maybe kind of oversteering because of too big inputs, try to lower the saturation. Start at 75 for example, and then just go up. Same of course for the x-axis. Alright, so some basic stuff here. If you're completely new to a helicopter, the first thing you should take care of is that you put really small amounts of inputs. That's true for the collective and also for the stick inputs. I brought up here this overlay so you can see how small the inputs are that I do when I fly this helicopter on this particular track. This is here on my training map that you can download. It has an explanation every time that you go into a slot. You have different slots here. We are here on the 500 meter track light. Show you real quick. So this is the heavy slot, and you will always have some kind of explanation what I want you to do when you choose a certain slot. And this track here, the 500 meter track, is designed to teach you more kind of lower speed handling of a new helicopter that you want to learn. So let's get back to the light one, because that's what I would recommend to start with, because you will feel a big difference between a very light helicopter, which is 50% fuel and no ordnance, and a heavy helicopter with full ordnance and full fuel. So we choose light. Alright, so back in the light helicopter, there are some hard elements that I want you to point you to. And oh, I forgot, we need another button maybe. Not that important, but it might help. And this is symbology select switch up and down. What it does is it changes the HUD symbology, and that's important for certain speeds, and that comes in handy when you like in transition speed or route flying, whatever. We start with the mode that your helicopter starts in, and that's the hover mode. So the first thing that is important is this percentage number here. Why is that important? That's the, in simple words, the amount of power that you give the helicopter by pulling the collective. You can see a representation of this also here. And you should try to remember how big that percentage is to, for example, get in hover with a certain loadout. So let me bring up the HUD again, the overlay. So the first thing you will notice when you fly a helicopter is that when you add some power, see the numbers change there. The first thing that happens is that the helicopter starts to move around. At 40% we see that it tries to turn right. That's because of our disc blade here turning to the left. And we need to counter that with our anti-torque pedals. So I would always recommend to do really slow and really careful inputs, and that's true for, as I said, the cyclic and the collective. So the first thing is always try to gradually move up the collective until you feel some movement from the helicopter. Here we go, it starts to move, and do some counter actions. Not only will the helicopter try to spin right, but also bank to the right. And as you can see in the overlay, that I'm countering this with my cyclic input. Alright, and we go up now at around 50% torque. Helicopter starts to go up, go 55 maybe, and we're in a hover. So to hover is not your main goal for now. If you're completely new to the helicopter, it's okay to move around a little bit, try to stay within those pylons, and what you do is just push the nose forward a little bit to get some speed. And once you get some speed, you can change the HUD mode to transition mode. And now you walk this road fairly slow, 30 knots, that's this number here, is okay for the beginning. And just try to go straight and brake in front of these pylons. Doesn't have to be perfect. Try to come to a stop around here. You will see that when you move forward, let me quickly turn around here. When you move forward and you get some speed, the helicopter will lift without you adding power. Of course, you try to compensate that with the collective. And you have to bring back that power when you slow down. Slow down here, you see my collective goes down because I don't want to go too much up and then back up again, because I will need more power to hover. Alright. So, and that's what you do. You walk to the end of this track, turn around, and do it again. Especially this braking will help you to really stop at a place that you want. And what you should also do is, when you come to the end of this track, try to turn into different directions. You will see that if you go to the left, you will need much higher amount of pedal input than to the right. Because as we learned in the beginning, that the helicopter wants to turn to the right on its own. So all you need to do to turn right is just let it go. And if you want to turn to the left, you will have to give some input, some power, so to say, to the rear rudder. Alright, and once you feel comfortable with stuff like that, you can try some other things like getting perpendicular to the cones and then walk this way sideways. Slow and controlled, minimum inputs. Stop at a pylon that you choose and go back into the other direction. Alright, now we got something to practice, and we will see each other in the next video, where we will do a little bit more movement, still going relatively slow. Alright, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can take something out of this. Let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see the next video, of course, subscribe, hit the bell. Take care, guys. Bye bye.